Well, hello my friends, my name is Jose from Cherubim Coffee, and in this video I'm gonna show you a simple way to make a pour over coffee. If you love coffee, you've probably heard about a pour over. It is a really great way to extract all of the flavor out of your coffee. It does take a little bit more time, but I can promise you that when you make a pour over, it's really worth it at the end because it makes really tasty cups of coffee. So I'm gonna show you a really simple way to do it. And so I have my pour over kit. I have a way to measure how much coffee and how much water I'm gonna put. If you don't have a scale, you can also just make sure that you have a tablespoon and you can measure how much water you put in it in cups. And then I have my Cherubim coffee. Today we're gonna brew our cinnamon rolls, Cherubim cinnamon rolls. This is flavor coffee. It's keto friendly, it's very delicious, has no sugars added to it. For most of our coffee recipes, we recommend using about 1 cup of water per 2 tablespoons of coffee, or if you're actually measuring it, it's about 250 grams of water and 15 grams of coffee. A lot of people's preferences are gonna be different. Some people like the coffee a little bit darker, some people like it a little bit lighter, so you might want to mess with the ratio of water to coffee after this, but having 1 cup per 2 tablespoons of coffee is a really good way to start. So we're gonna start by heating up our water to 204 degrees. While the water is warming up, we're gonna measure out our coffee into our pour over kit. Right now I'm using just the mesh filter that comes with the pour over kit. I do like using a paper filter sometimes. You just gotta make sure that you rinse them really well, because if you just make your pour over coffee with the paper filter and you don't rinse them really well, you're gonna get some of that paper flavor into your coffee, and you don't want any of that. The time that it takes to pour over coffee with these filters is a little bit faster, which can also change a little bit of how dark your coffee comes. But if you measure out the coffee just right and the water just right, you're still gonna extract all of the flavor that you want to get out of your coffee. So let's go ahead and measure out 30 grams, because I have 2 cups of water right here, or about 4 tablespoons of coffee. And this coffee already smells so good as I'm putting it in here. So make sure that you shake it a little bit so that it's flat on the top. You want your beans ground. It's going to be a medium grind. All of our coffee, whenever we ground it for you guys, it comes perfectly grounded for your pour over coffee, for your drip coffee makers. Now that my water is warmed up, I'm gonna start pouring the water into my coffee. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a spiral motion over the coffee from the inside all the way outside until I cover all of the beans. So I'm actually gonna, if you guys have a scale, I'm gonna do about 50 grams of water. If you don't have a scale, it's gonna be until you actually just simply wet all of the beans, and then we're gonna stop for about 30 seconds. So I'm also gonna set my timer, starting from the inside, slowly into an outside motion, covering all of the beans. And I'm gonna wait for about 30 seconds. So we're gonna pour the water again in a spiral motion. And once all of my beans are wet, I'm gonna just pour from the very center of the coffee so that we don't keep stirring all of the coffee beans. And that is 500 grams of coffee. And now we're just gonna let it sit there until all of the water comes down the bottom and it extracts all of the coffee and the flavor. Alright, so now that the coffee finished dripping to the bottom, this coffee is now ready. It smells so good. Guys, that is so good. It's our cinnamon rolls coffee. It tastes delicious, has absolutely no sugars added to it. Brewing coffee this way, it really is an experience, and it gives you a lot of control over how you brew your coffee, and it's gonna be really worth it once you dial in how you like your coffee. This is the way that I love making my coffee. I love this one specifically. It smells delicious, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, so go ahead and give it a like if you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys also enjoy your Cherubim coffee.